everybody, and welcome to Self-Help FAQ, the YouTube channel. I'm Barb, your host, and today is Follow-Up Friday, so I do have a question from a viewer. They were watching my Charlie Kirk video that I did a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'll link it on the screen the first chance I get after recording. But their question was, they had been watching a lot of Charlie Kirk debates and videos, and they came across some quotes where he was saying that he didn't think that it was very necessary these days to go to college. He was fighting, with that attitude that is college necessary or not, and why. And he has his views. I have mine. And so the question from the viewer was, I think it was like a two-part question here. I'm going to look at my notes so I don't forget anything. They were saying, is college even worth it anymore, or are there better ways to educate ourselves today? And if I don't go to college, can I still succeed in life? Very good questions. And so I'll give you my TLDR version first, just in case you can't stick around for the whole video. And then after that, I'll go into a little more detail on the debates happening around this subject. So let's do some pros and cons. Some of the pros for going to college are you need your credentials for certain jobs. You can get networking done for jobs. And certain professions like medicine, law, and engineering definitely need you to have college degrees. Some of the cons, of course, are cost, getting into serious amounts of debt, outdated curricula in some classes or colleges, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get the job that you want when you get out of college. Some alternatives these days are online courses, apprenticeships, and entrepreneurship, boot camps, and self-education. So you don't have to really pick a side when you're debating this. It's just that this argument has lots of nuances, and it is evolving. So I think no matter what path you choose, the real key is lifelong learning. Very important that whether you go to college or not, you really should keep learning, because skills, technology, and industries are changing. We change too fast to rely on one degree for a lifetime. My own habits reflect this. I've got 2 college degrees, but they weren't enough really to get me the jobs that I needed or wanted to support me. And lately, even over the last, I'd say over the last 15 years, I've been using books and YouTube, journaling, and now AI tools to help me with my continuing education. And I'm still taking online classes, things like that, that will help me in my business. So you keep learning and growing. And even in my music endeavors, I'm still learning better ways to play the guitar. I'm still learning how to strengthen my voice in singing. I'm learning how to use devices like looper machines and pedals and things like that with my guitar. So it's never ending. And I even learned how to, at an advanced stage here, I've learned how to start playing bass guitar as well. So I'm still learning too. So the question isn't, should you go to college? It's, how are you going to keep learning throughout your life? So I'd love to know what's the best thing you've taught outside of school. Let me know in the comments below. So now let's get into the debates. Excuse me a minute. Let's get into the debates, and I will link below where I found these things in my research when I first get the chance after recording. So we know public opinion lately is shifting. A Pew Research report finds that many Americans now doubt whether a 4-year degree is worth the cost. About 1 in 4 say that a degree is extremely or very important for getting a good job. And 40% say it's not too or not important at all. And a Wall Street Journal NORC poll showed more than half of Americans believe a 4-year college degree is not worth the cost. Very expensive. There's another survey by the Lumina Foundation finds only 18% of adults without a degree said current college tuition is fair. So that's not very many, or that it's justified. So the cultural winds are shifting, not necessarily to reject the higher education outright, but demanding more accountability, return on investment, and or alternatives. So the arguments for college, the first one would be higher lifetime earnings and economic stability. So the college premium is still pretty sizable in many fields. You get more job opportunities, higher pay ceilings, and lower employment risk are common things that are appealing for people that want to go to college. And also, you get access to networks and internships and credentials that you might need. They often serve, colleges often serve as talent funnels. Employers hire from alumni, internships, research. There's research opportunities. And of course, the all famous campus recruitment. There's broad intellectual growth and exposure. The liberal arts ideal, exposure to different ideas, critical thinking, writing, debate, diverse peers, and civic engagement. And there's institutional legitimacy and assurance for employers. Some fields like medicine, law, engineering, and even academia require formal education. So a degree acts as a signal, though critics argue it's not a very perfect one. And here are some arguments against going to college, or at least it's been a late stage reconsideration. These are getting more traction in social media, of course, in the op-eds and through voices like Charlie Kirk. So use them carefully. Context matters. Make sure you know exactly what they're talking about. So the first one, cost, debt burden, and diminishing return. The rising cost of tuition and interest on your loans is the centerpiece of many critiques. If you borrow heavily, the premium might be eaten by debt payments. I think for me, it took me about 5 years to pay off my debt from college. There's a mismatch between degree and job reality. Yeah, I can attest to that. Many grads end up in roles that are not even tied to their major. And critics argue that the coursework is often theoretical and detached from actual real-world practice or professional skills. And there are better or cheaper alternatives existing now that we couldn't get like 20 years ago, maybe. So boot camps, online education, apprenticeships, self-education, using tools like books, YouTube, and now heavily AI, peer networks. They are frequently offered as more agile pathways. And there's ideological institutional concerns. Some say that universities have become ideologically bent. This is how they're describing it, bent, which they're meaning left-leaning, politically motivated curricula and DEI agendas. Whereas when I went to college, it was very neutral. I really didn't get hit much with political ideology, except when I actually took political science. But then, even then, I could see all sides of an issue. And the teacher was not trying to point us in one direction or another. So this reduces trust in their perceived neutrality or value, even if they say they're neutral. So, and of course, that's a frequent criticism coming from conservative circles. And there's the debate over the college experience myth. Some commentators say that we overestimate how much students actually engage in a philosophical debate, challenge ideas, or expand worldview in college. Many of them just attend because they want the credentialing and they want the social life. So as far as this debate goes, I tried to find actual things that Charlie Kirk had said. One of them was, he said, do the best writers learn to write in college? Probably not. The best writers are gifted writing, and they learn to write by writing. And I've actually heard a lot of teachers now online and on YouTube saying that if you want to become a writer, you have to write. So that it just makes sense. But this is what he said as far as one of the debates on not going to college. So he questions whether the holistic view justifies risky debt when alternatives may offer better returns. Some of the voices and platforms I think would be worth watching might be actually watching these Surrounded and Jubilee debates with Charlie Kirk. There's a lot of viral clips going around with him debating students on campuses, and these highlight how the argument is framed in real time when it was recorded. And also you got Reddit threads, subreddits like r/findapath, r/career guidance, r/true unpopular opinion often have personal stories. So you might find people who regret going to college, maybe people who took alternative paths, and some warnings from some people. For example, I'll try to link this for you. A commenter argued that university-educated people are actually smarter and their opinions have more value. And there are op-eds and institutional analysis from Forbes, Inside Higher Ed, and education think tanks publish regular critiques of higher ed's cost structure and mission. For instance, Inside Higher Ed published a piece challenging the romantic notion that debate is central to college experience. And there's trending media, news coverage. For instance, Newsweek recently ran an article entitled, "Is College Still Worth It? Many Americans Say No." So this is capturing the public sentiment in anecdotal cases of regret. So that actually wraps up what I was trying to get across in my answer. So this is really a spectrum of what we're finding. And I encourage you to do your own research on this before you make your decision. There's good things on both sides of the aisle as far as this debate goes. And also be sure to look into the kind of jobs you would like to get, find out, what they require, and what kind of jobs you might be able to get that don't require a college education, but maybe they will require some kind of certificate. That could be an easier way out too, if you didn't want to accrue all that debt and have to pay that back for years on end, like many people are doing today. Well, I hope that helped answer your question, and let me know which side of the debate you land on. Go to college, don't go to college, lifelong learning, is it important or not? Is there a point where you should stop educating and just do things like that? Let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to see what you think. Thanks a lot for tuning in to Self-Help FAQ, and have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.